Okay, for this video, we're going to look at number 8 out of module 6. For this problem, we're asked to find sine 2t, cosine 2t, and tangent 2t. So I've put here for you the double angle identities to help you along the way. So for this problem, we're given that the sine of t is 5/13. So for me, I am very visual. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw that out. So, and it also tells us that our angle is in the second quadrant. So I'm going to draw that out. And for my sine is my opposite over my hypotenuse. Okay. And so from there, I can calculate using the Pythagorean identity what my missing x is, right? So I have x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. My x, I don't know. My y is 5 and my r is 13. Okay. So this is going to give me x squared is equal to 144 because that's 169 minus 25. Now I need to take the square root of both sides. And so that's going to give me x is equal to plus or minus 12. Okay, so just a reminder that the reason we put plus or minus is because when I take that square root there, positive 12 times positive 12 gives me 144. Negative 12 times negative 12 also gives me 144. Okay, and then we can also see that I know I'm in my second quadrant, and so I know my x is negative in the second quadrant. So my value here is actually negative 12. That's actually really important when you go and write out what each sine, cosine, and tangent are in that second quadrant. Okay. So our sine we were given, right? So the sine of t is equal to 5/13. Our cosine of t is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So that's going to be negative 12/13. And then our tangent of t is equal to our opposite over our adjacent. Okay, so now that we have these three values, it doesn't matter which of these three functions we're looking at, we can easily and quickly substitute it in. Okay, so let's take our sine of 2 theta first. Okay, so when we're looking at the sine of 2 theta, and we don't have to put it in parentheses, or you can, that is equal to, so the sine of 2 theta, or 2t in this case, is 2 times my sine of the angle times my cosine of the angle. So we're looking at sine t times cosine of t. So we've already gotten them all written out over here, so it's easier for us to pick from. And so that is, sorry, I forgot the 2 in front of this here. So it's 2 times the sine times the cosine. So that's going to be 2 times 5/13 times negative 12/13. Okay, so when we multiply all that out, 2 times 5 times negative 12, that gives me negative 120. And 13 times 13 is 169. So the double angle for sine for this angle is going to be negative 120 divided by 169. Okay, now let's look at the cosine's double angle. So the cosine is cosine squared minus sine squared. So cosine squared of t minus sine squared of t. Okay, so our cosine we have here is negative 12/13, that's squared, minus our sine, which is 5/13, again squared. Okay, so this is going to give me negative 12 times negative 12 is 144. 13 times 13 is 169. Minus 5 times 5 is 25. Over 13 times 13 is 169. Now they have a common denominator, so all I have to do is add them together. So 144 minus 25 is 119, and they have their common denominator of 169. Okay, and the last one we're going to do here is the tangent of 2t. Okay, so the tangent of 2t is right here. So it's our 2t, it's 2 tangent of t divided by 1 minus tangent squared of t. Okay, and so now what we want to do is we want to just substitute in substitute in our tangent value that we have here. And so this gives me 2 times 5 divided by negative 12 divided by 1 minus 5 divided by negative 12 squared. Okay, and now if we can simplify that out, so I'm going to take that here, and we get that we have 2 times 5 is 10 over negative 12 divided by 1 minus 25 over 144. So that is 10 divided by negative 12 over 119 over 144. So that's really just taking this piece right here. That's the same as 144 over 144. And so when I take off the 25, so 144 minus 25 gives me 119 and divided by that. So division is really the same as multiplication by the reciprocal. So when we do that, we have 10 divided by negative 12 times, since it's division in the numerator or the denominator there, we're just going to multiply by the reciprocal. So we're going to multiply by 144 over 119. And 12 goes into 12 one time, 12 goes into 144 12 times. And so that leaves me, don't forget, we have that negative there that's attached to that. So we can bring that up here. 10 times 20, 10 times 12 is 120. 1 times 119 is 119. So our tangent 2t is going to be negative 120 over 119.